Chair lays out on second reading HJR 30. The clerk read the resolution.
HJR 30 by Roberts, proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to provide for exemption from ad valorem taxation of all or part of the market value of the residence homesteads of certain disabled first responders and their surviving spouses.
The chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, House Joint Resolution 30 will authorize the legislator to provide for an exemption from property taxes of the homesteads of disabled first responders who have qualified for lifetime income benefits and their spouses. Mr. Speaker, I do have a perfecting amendment.
The following amendment, the clerk read the amendment.
Amendment by Roberts.
Chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
Members, since the Secretary of State has already closed the ballot for the 2017 constitutional amendment election, this amendment will change the date of the election to November 2018. This amendment is acceptable to the author. I move adoption.
Representative Roberts sends up an amendment acceptable to the authors or objection. Chair is not the amendment's adopted. Chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
With that, Mr. Speaker, I would move passage of HJR 30.
Anyone wishing to speak on for or against HJR 30? If not, the question occurs on adoption of the resolution. It's a record vote. The clerk ring the bell. Have all voted? Got it. Thank you. There being 141 ayes and 1 nay, the resolution is adopted. Chair lays out on second reading House Bill 179. Clerk read the bill.
HB 179 by Roberts, relating to an exemption from ad valorem taxation of the residence homestead of certain disabled first responders and their surviving spouses.
Chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, as you will recall, during the regular session, the legislature passed Senate Bill 15, which allowed the widows of fallen first responders a property tax exemption. Shortly after the bill filing deadline, I was contacted by a constituent who let me know that while this was certainly appreciated, there are currently 16 first responders in Texas who've been disabled in the line of duty and are struggling to deal with the great financial costs that come with a lifetime disability. Mr. Speaker, if enacted, House Bill 179 would allow a disabled first responder who's injured in the line of duty to the point where they qualify for a lifetime income benefits to be able to qualify for an exemption to property taxes on their homestead. Mr. Speaker, I have a perfecting amendment.
The following amendment, the clerk read the amendment.
Amendment by Roberts.
Chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
Members, this amendment will move the effective date back to January 2019 based on the new election date that we adopted in HJR 30. And once again, this amendment is acceptable to the author. I move adoption.
Representative Roberts sends up an amendment. It's acceptable to the authors or objection. Chair is none. The amendment's adopted. Chair recognizes Representative Roberts.
With that, Mr. Speaker, members, this is an important opportunity to do the right thing for those who protect us every day. I move passage.
Question occurs on passage third reading of House Bill 179. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 179 is passed to third reading.